What's up? Happy Thursday, coming in live for the breakfast show episode. We stopped counting. First and foremost, if you are brand spanking new to the breakfast show, like you've never been a part before, it is such a flippin' honor to have you. I'm like obsessed with welcoming brand new people to the breakfast show. I will tell you that if you actually sacrifice the time, even if you were to hit follow or set an alarm for when you know you're going to be in the car and you listen to this, there will be tools and apps that'll absolutely change your life. With certainty, I say that. So hit follow, hit add friend, come freaking hang out, be a beast with me today, because I'm going to give you the exact roadblock of 11-month struggle to drop even 1 inch, to learning so much in biohacking my body and dropping 30 pounds in 5 frickin' months and maintaining it. In perimenopause, in menopause, approaching 40 years old. Like literally, I can't keep the weight from coming off. I didn't give up foods, I didn't give up desserts, I didn't give up alcohols, I didn't do injectables, and there was no meal plan. It's how I went to 400,000 followers right here on this platform because of it. There's no better way. So I need you to hold tight. If you are new, I need you to do me the biggest favor. Just drop new. Please, I want to welcome you. It's an honor. I'm in Michigan. It's 10:24 a.m. I'm on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. I am not pre-recorded. I wish I was a robot. I'm not a robot. I'm here with you in my kitchen, imperfectly perfect, and we are about to literally talk about some serious, massive things that are happening right now. But let me give you a little bit of the background revolutionary behind the breakfast show. Here's what happened. I one time went to a doctor and it changed my life forever. I went in there with chronic fatigue to get a physical, inflammation infested in my body, bloating, 35 pounds overweight, acne all over my face, acne all over my chest, acne all over my back. And my doctor sat me down and gave me a clean bill of health. It's not your thyroid, it's not your hormones. Here's a drug for metformin. I still have the script right here, and something tugged at my heart. I had heard so many times from people, every time I complained about my weight. Michelle, do you know Dr. James? Have you listened to the book, The Obesity Fix? Michelle, have you listened to the book, The Obesity Fix? Do you know Dr. James? And I'm like, what? Finally, that moment when that doctor wrote me a prescription, it was my rock bottom. I was done with everything. It was time to learn. It was time to do my due diligence. It was time to be an A player and to stop looking below for answers for people below me. So I ended up diving into that book. I have not. When you get Audible, you get a book. If you go get The Obesity Fix, when you finish that Audible book, which is the only thing I listen to while I'm driving, I've got a sticky note for the reminder because I've got squirrel brain. It's right on my radio. So when I go, I press play. Every time I finish a book, a new recommendation comes up. I press play on it. I can't believe what I've learned from other people. So no, I'm not an expert, but I've listened to 40 plus. I stopped counting at 40 Audible books, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I learned this morning. I take the chapter, I make it a little bit more fun for you. Okay, here's what I do. Okay, so it would be beneficial last month for me, but not this month. I get it. So listen, here's the deal. What I'm going to do is I give you a snippet every time of what it is that I learn. I give you that little snippet in like a little bit of some sass with it. And then we dive right into 3 things that you're going to start doing today. Guarantee you with certainty to drop 30 pounds in 5 months. I'm not even kidding. And we're going to dive in and I'm going to give you every tool in your toolbox, the why behind it. You're not going to be like, well, you're going to be so turned up and have so much why that you're going to do it anyways. But really quick, I took a synopsis. I just finished listening to an entire whole chapter, and I need to share with you what it is that I learned. Let's talk about it in little bits. So this whole chapter was about something that might be a sore topic for a lot of us, but it's about alcohol depleting the body of thiamine and magnesium. So that is something you probably want to add in. Coffee depletes the body of salt, iron, taurine, thiamine, and potassium due to the pesticide count, which we'll talk about. Tea depletes the body of iron and thiamine. Make sure to replenish these. And when you replenish them, use this word in the comments. Please do not forget YUKA is an app, because I started using products to replace these things, and guess what happened? The products had toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. We live in the United States. If you're in like Europe, you can't have products, they're banned. Here we have to do our due diligence. So make sure they are YUKA approved. The chapter also went into, at the end of the chapter, we covered a little bit on how the people you spend time with are the mirrors, right? You hang out with confident people, you'll grow some confidence. Hang out with victims, you'll learn to blame others. Your circle teaches you what's normal. Choose one that makes greatness feel like the baseline. And with this, when you start losing weight, if the people around you aren't doing that, here's what I recommend you to do, okay? I recommend you to pour into yourself through personal growth, through personal development. So like if you struggle with consistency, I listened to a book called The Compound Effect. If you struggle with kind of like you need a little bit of some momentum, The Slight Edge. And if you struggle with time for like saying that you don't have time to do things, get the book Eat the Frog. So make sure you're pouring into yourself if your circumstances are like, hey, listen, I can't just cut these people out of my life. That's what the chapter was about. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully it gives you some insight and it inspires you. But let's go into the 3 things that I did consistently. And unfortunately, you can't do 1 or 3. I've taken test groups now with hundreds of people and I'm like, hey, do these 2 things. They missed 1 thing. Do this 1 thing. They missed 2 things. Do these 3 things. They work intertwinedly. So we either have to do all of them or we do nothing. Like it's literally black and white. I know a lot of people are like, no, there's gray, but you either gained weight in the year of 2025 or you lost weight. There's no way you weighed in at 143.2 and then you weighed out at 143.2. So it's very black and it's very white. You have to have all 3 of these things. So number 1 is going to state the obvious, maybe not, but it's fiber. And I tried to cheat code everything when I first learned about these things. I hadn't realized that toxins and dyes and carcinogens were allowed to be in our foods. So I added Metamucil, okay? If it were up to me, this should be banned 100% with certainty from the marketplace. When you get this YUKA app, okay, you should not be supplementing your fiber. Typical ones have fillers. You will just put more weight on. If you're frustrated and you're like, I'm not losing weight, 5 pounds every year, it's due to the stuff that's in your foods. So if you search Metamucil inside of this app, just so you know, it comes up with the most awful rating that you can have, which is a 0 out of 100. If we click on the additives, okay, we can click on it and it tells us that there's 6 high risk items inside of this, and then you can learn more. It tells you everything and how it causes heart disease, type 2 diabetes, ADHD, many autoimmune disorders. So be very careful what your fiber looks like. This is a no-no, okay? Fiber is supposed to be 25 grams. 25 grams of fiber. The thing that I love, Marshall, most about this app is it'll actually make a recommendation for you, giving you foods and things that are good ratings that do have fiber. I've replaced everything. You'll be curious, the stuff that you brush your teeth with might have carcinogens or dyes or toxins. So teeth washing, deodorant directly into the bloodstream. Why does this matter? It doesn't matter how much you want to believe it. Like I have a Coke in my fridge from a year ago when I learned this, when I used to drink Coke. Literally, it spikes cortisol, it spikes glucose. All it does when your food comes in is it tells your body to store it as fat. It's not using it as energy or storing it as energy. Again, we're back to the black and white method. You either lost weight or you gained weight. Your food's either coming in and you feel great and energized and it's being stored as energy or used, or you're storing it as fat in the fat pockets of your body, period. Do you have to be perfect 100%? No, but 80% of the time, 80-20, yes. But everything I was using was not approved by the YUKA app, okay? Fiber should be 25 grams up to 40 grams. I'm the kind of girl that sometimes too much of a good thing, like fiber, you don't want to do too much of a good thing. So 25 grams up to 40 grams. I'll give you the best tool. This is what I use every day. I actually already had 2 slices today. I made 5 eggs. I popped the yolk out of 4 of them and only had 1 egg yolk. We'll talk about why. But this is a carbo nut bread. It has 15 grams of fiber, 40 calories. YUKA approved. I found it at Whole Foods. You might have to Instacart it. If you download Instacart, you can search foods you want to buy. And what will happen is it'll come up and tell you where it's available at. But this is 40 calories. This is 15 grams of fiber. It's $11 for a loaf, but I pay the extra $1 now instead of raising cortisol levels, raising glucose levels, and affecting the adrenals. So this is the best bang because I have 2 of them and I'm at 30 grams. Super easy. Every day I usually make homemade egg salad, homemade chicken salad, or homemade tuna salad. It's super easy, but you can use that for anything. Add cream cheese to it. Who cares, right? That's 25 grams. There's two types of fiber, just so you know a little bit of the biology. It helped inspire me to do better. You've got insoluble and soluble fiber. And fiber is so important because it is the only thing that can keep your intestinal tract free and clear of toxins and bacteria. Okay? Why are there toxins and bacteria? Everything you put in your mouth goes through the intestinal tract. A very healthy, normal looking intestinal tract, it looks a lot like this. So if we take this, I wish I had a marker that I could show you that's not permanent, but we take this right here and the intestinal tract is like this big swirly snake. Okay, it's not this straight shot. So all the food that you eat in a given day does go through right here. Okay, if we're not getting proper water, what happens? Food particles are left behind. If we're not getting proper movement, food particles are left behind. And if we're not getting proper fiber, what happens when we have food left behind? It's just like leaving food out. It's just like the cheese that becomes moldy, right? Fungus, bacteria, toxins grow. What happens to the body when this happens is we have inflammation, Hey, Cleo, stop! We have inflammation, we have bloating, irregular bowel movements, and we have foul smelling gas. That's a big indicator. That was me. So why fiber? Fiber is the only thing on the planet that can actually swell to the width of the intestinal tract. Okay, so it swells and it's a vacuum. It literally reminds me of a vacuum with like a leech attached to the end, going through and keeping it clean and free and pushing everything through. So it is critical to weight loss, but also to maintenance. Here's what a healthy intestinal tract will look like. It will have pinkness to it, reminds me a lot of the gums, and there will be no blackness. When you look at someone who does have a deficit in fiber, we notice that there is some gray and black to it. We need to get that out, okay? So that's the fiber component. There's two types. Drop a 1 in the comments if just knowing that biology behind it turns you up that much more inside to get 25 grams of fiber instead of not getting 25 grams of fiber. I would love to know in the comment section. Hi, Joanna. It didn't come up. I just now see you. Hi, love. The comments are not coming through. So that's the fiber component. There's 10 grams of fiber and 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, but there's 150 calories. So if you're someone who's watching your caloric intake, maybe you want to reach for a lower source. Your berries are amazing. Blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. They're very low on the glycemic index chart, and there's 8 grams of fiber in 1 cup. And then your greens, your broccoli, your spinach, all your greens is 7 grams in 1 cup. You can Google right now and you can find some type of app that tracks your dietary fiber for you and just look at your body as a car or look at your body as a watch. You would never not have a watch to be like, oh, I got to go pick up Bella from cheer. So if you don't do that, your body's number one. Your body is how you can show up an A player, the best version of yourself. So what you don't track, you can't measure. Do you want to feel amazing or do you want to be lethargic? You kind of have to choose your hard. I have a component that's been drawn out in my Power Play where you have an app that does everything for you. So you never have to worry about that, right? It comes with 5 days of coaching support and 5 modules to keep you on track to be able to press play on forever. That was sold out for 2 months. Right now it's in stock. If you have not done the Power Play, drop Power Play. You're going to have 5 days of coaching with me, 5 modules, all the apps that you need in one place to see the fiber, to see the protein, to see the caloric intake, okay? That tracks it inside of that for you in that platform. Number 2, we go into and we talk about the water component, but there's so much food noise, not food noise, there's so much noise, like the news this morning was talking about 8 cups of water. That is complete BS. That is falsified information. 64 ounces of water is only doable for the 120-pound woman. The answer is factual information. You go through a process called lipolysis, okay? Liposuction is the term you go to get fat sucked out of your body. It's a procedure. It's called what? It's known as liposuction. It's known as plastic surgery, okay? For plastic surgery, that term was created by how your body burns fat, which is called lipolysis, okay? The body goes through lipolysis, and it's how it burns fat. You've got 365 opportunities to burn fat. It either is on or it's off. Again, we go to the black and white. There is no middle ground. Your body isn't like, oh, I'm gonna just burn a little bit. The first stop in the lipolysis process is called hydrolysis. If it doesn't have half of your weight in ounces of water, just like the bus stop stops at the railroad track, and if there's not a train, it goes, you don't burn fat, okay? But you don't just stop there. Do you drink pop or coffee or alcohol? Those are diuretics, meaning it sucks the water out of your body. Add up those ounces. If your wine pour is this big, double it, and after you're done, fill that much with water. If your coffee is this pour, you have to add it back in, okay? Here's my tip for you. If you're adding Neo or Crystal Light, I was the girl that added all of this junk to my water because I said I didn't like water. This is from Target. This says that it's healthy. This says that it's good for you. This says all of this junk, and I literally did not know about the YUKA app, and when I searched in here, sugar-free electrolyte drink mix, white peach flavored, guess what comes up? Horrible rating, 0 out of 100 again. What was I doing? Toxins, dyes, and carcinogens through the roof, Michelle. Hey, food, come in and just store as fat. I became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So the high risk is, okay, the high risk is this. In this, there's additives. There's 7 of them that are high risk. It tells me exactly what they are. There's some type of, I can't even pronounce it. What does it cause? It causes type 2 diabetes. It causes inflammation in the bowel system, causing diseases. Also disrupts the gut microbiota. It tells you all the things. At the bottom, it does tell me some healthier alternatives that I could get. There's like a Body Armor Flash IV Strawberry Kiwi. There's a Flash Tropical Punch, a prebiotic drink from Karma. So it does give you healthy alternatives. Otherwise, stop using that stuff in your water. Mio, Crystal Light, all of it's very bad. Toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. When we have those foods, again, we raise cortisol, we raise glucose, we raise adrenals. All it does is tell your food to come in and store it as fat, not use it as energy or store as on-demand energy, okay? For water, I have in the bottom of my water bottle today a really good mixture of actually cucumbers with watermelon cut up inside of there, and it's infusing my water. I have a 40-ounce water bottle so that I don't have to track a bunch of water every single day. It's 40 ounces, it's a hydro jug. I treated it to myself. It goes everywhere with me. The straw helps me. It does not leak. The straw helps me to drink faster. And I do have a timer set. The only time I reach my goal is if I have a timer set. Your body needs water every 90 to 120 minutes. It should never go more than 120 minutes besides sleeping, which the circadian rhythm is used to, the body shutting down and not having water. So every 90 minutes I stop, drop. I have a timer that goes off on my watch, which is gonna go off. It says in 36 minutes. It vibrates. I drink for 15 seconds. I repeat it. You have an alarm in your phone. You have a clock in your phone. Hopefully you write right now something where you can put it next to your bedstand. On my phone to this day, I do not plug it in without putting a sticky note that says water. Water before coffee, always. Water in the circadian rhythm is what turns it on, right? The circadian rhythm is the light, how the body is in the internal process of being activation on instead of activation off. So that's the water component. Timer, infused with good things. What about mint leaves? What about peppermint leaves? What about any type of watermelon or berries or blackberries or strawberries or mango? The timer's the biggest thing. Writing a sticky note and putting it wherever you wake up to. And then lastly, getting a water bottle or a straw, and just something that helped me in the beginning was having a hair tie, 2 of them, and then when I finished a water bottle, taking it off. It helped me to encourage me to do it. Okay, someone asked a great question in regards to having carbonated water. It depends on what you're using for carbonated water. There are seltzer waters that cause cancer. Your ice water from Costco, it's the orange one or the red one or the green one. Those are very bad, okay? But if it's straight LaCroix like I have from Costco, it's 100% rating, that can count. What are the positive benefits? I have someone I'm gonna have you follow in a minute that'll change your life. If you think I'm inspiring, holy crap, he's a legend. He's the ultimate human biohacking the body. There's no one out there that compares to him. He's got millions of followers. I'll share that with you in a minute. Carbonated water does not have positive benefits besides like people enjoy it, right? It's like a euphoric feeling for people. They like it. Something that he does talk about, his name happens to be Gary Brecka. So if we pull him up, he's got millions of followers. He talks about hydrogen. So hydrogen is actually a missing component in the body. Hydrogen is the smallest element on our element table. He's in the comments. Smallest element, okay? And what it does, and it's not inside of the body, but we have in our body, if you look down at your veins right now, if you could please look, you have veins, and there's a width and a depth to every vein, and everyone is created not equally. And it depends on how much your blood's flowing. There's people who have radiance, where their skin does not have blood flowing to the fingertips, right? There's people who don't have enough blood flow to the brain. It causes some type of headaches and some type of brain fog. There's performance and recovery that changes because the blood flow starts to decrease in men at 35, women 30. Why does it decrease? Age, pollutions, and free radicals. So if you add the component nitrogen, the smallest element on our element table, into your water for 10 hours, it dilates the blood vessel 10 times. So now blood is flowing. You actually feel it, okay? But in your first ingredient, anything you look at in an ingredient list, it's what you find the most of. The last ingredient is what you find the least of. So if you're buying hydrogen tablets from Costco or Amazon checkout or Home Goods, it's most likely not good. Hydrogen should be one of the first focuses. There should be clinicals behind it. There should be third-party validation outside of the hydrogen rep, and there should be science backed. And the first ingredient should be hydrogen. Otherwise, don't put it in your body. Okay, so it's in you for 10 hours, 10 timesing it. What are you gonna feel and what are the positive effects of hydrogen? Brain fog, gone. Even for the aging process, even perimenopause and even menopause, you will have this instant feeling. I call it a nitro experiment. Number 2, headaches, even hormonal headaches, improve. Number 3, performance and recovery. Athletes are paying thousands of dollars for it because of the performance and recovery. And then lastly, any type of blood pressure, it actually improves, okay? So it looks like this. This is the one, obviously science-backed, clinicals, third-party validation, and clean. I mix this in my water. You would never add ice into a drink with hydrogen. It deactivates it. This is molecular. It's hydrolyzed, okay? I add it in, it's clear. It turns bright yellow within 5 minutes, and I drink it. There's only 3 flavors in stock, Carlene. This is black cherry, there's a lemon lime, and there's a grape, okay? There's actually a video that explains nitro better than I can. If you drop in the comments the word nitro, more than happy to share that video with you. And yes, she said, where do you find it at? You'll never find it in a store, on a billboard, or a commercial. Actually, if you drop in the comments nitro with a star, you can get a bag of it. This is the best part, for 30 days, money back guaranteed. Empty bag, money back guaranteed. Okay, drop nitro with a star. Anything you do put in the comments though, unfortunately, usually I'm on 3 platforms, but I'm only on 1. They disappear, so I need you to message me. On Facebook, if you were to search my name, there's like a top little search magnifying glass. On my page, it says message. I invite you in my inbox. I'll share that science with you. It's an 8-minute video with the hydration expert. If you do want to grab a bag, because no one's really ever explained it to you before, and you want to experience those positive benefits of hydrogen, thebreakfastshow.net, you would put that in your web browser, and then you'll see at the top it says Nueva. When you see Nueva, when you click there, it'll direct you to what is called nitro. Okay, that's how you're going to find it, and that's where you're going to get it. Okay, any questions in regards to that? So that's the second thing. So you already learned for free we have fiber. You already learned for free that we have water. Okay, exactly what to do and exactly the why behind it. So I really feel that's going to turn you up and motivate you to do it even when you don't want to. Drop a 1 in the comments if you agree. Okay, drop a 1 in the comments if you agree. Okay, number 3 is the protein. But there's a lot of false information out there. If someone gives me an example of their goal, a female or male, and what your height is, I can tell you what your protein should be. So if someone wants to tell me in the comments right now, the first person to do it, your height, and if you're a female or male, I'll tell you what that is. For me, it is, all you would do is you'd put in Google, I would put 5'7" female, because that's what I am. And I would put ideal, 5'7" female, ideal weight. And it says 129 to 150. The highest number is your grams of protein. So take the 150 pounds and turn it into 150 grams. That's your goal. That's the number in grams of protein. But let me share something with you. So we have Johanna that answered. So I would go strictly into Google, and I'm gonna put literally in Google. Okay, so 5'6" female, ideal weight. Cleo, you be good. Go find it. Go find it. And it is 118 to 154 pounds. 150 pounds, so it would be 150 grams for you. But listen, 150 grams of protein is 600 calories. 150 grams of fat is 1,350 calories. Let me just tell you that if you have cheeses with every meal, you're snacking on nuts, seeds, olives, olive oil, avocados, guacamole, cheese, I said, red meat, egg yolks, those are all fat. So that was me in every meal. It's nearly impossible to get the proper amount of protein when that's high up there. A typical day of fats for an American should be 1 egg yolk, 2 tablespoons of nuts, 1/4 of an avocado, and a 1/2 tablespoon of any type of chia seeds or peanut butter. So we have to be very careful. Again, 150 grams of protein is 600 calories. 150 grams of fat is 1,350 calories. There's a guide that I found out there. Protein was my biggest struggle. Actually, if you drop in the comments the word FREE, I'll share that guide with you. It helped in many ways. So that's for protein. Protein is how you burn 30% more calories. We go for the highest number. Once you reach your goal weight, you can go for the lower number. But we want to biohack getting that metabolism back up to lubrication and working at the most highest level it can. Number 2, it improves muscle tone. I can't tell you how many people have gone to open a door. There's a girl on cheer, her mother is in hospice. Broke the wrist, went and got a surgery, ended up going sepsis and now in hospice. It improves muscle tone. It decreases chances of osteoporosis. So it decreases your chances of broken, fragile bones and like falling. And then number 3, it's actually how the body goes through feelings of fullness and satiety. For 365 days, a lot of you followed my challenge of taking my blood. Glucose levels, when I was deficit in protein, it was very, very, very bad. It was very high, right? And when that happens, our body does not take food with insulin and uses energy or stores energy. It stored it all in the stomach visceral fat area of my belly. So protein is very important. For that free guide, I did pin it right here for you this morning. Thebreakfastshow.net would go in the web browser and you'll see like mid-page free protein guide. You won't miss it. That's where it's gonna be. As far as protein, I'm gonna share with you a little hack that now you won't have any type of struggle, even if you're like in a hospital or you're traveling or you're in an airport. Because let's be real, if you went to a store right now, there's like 4 brands of cottage cheese. There's 4 brands of Greek yogurt. I used to go for the one that was the cheapest, but that's a big no-no, and I'm gonna share with you why right now. If you look at the back of anything, all you need to do for step number 1 is like this, is we find the calories. Okay, it's always in bold. That's step number 1. So if you wanna write that down, find calories. Super simple. Step number 2 is you just cover the last number of calories, okay? What you're left with after covering the last number of calories is how many grams of protein the item should have, period. It can be more, but it can't be less. So 6+ is what we're looking for when we go above protein, which will always be in bold, and there's 13 grams. Is that 6 or higher? Yes, this is an amazing bang for your buck. There's a second brand right next to it. Right here, there's 80 calories we found. We covered the last number, there's an 8. There should be 8 grams of protein. When we go to the protein right here, and it's in big bold, there's 12. Is that 8 or higher? Yes. Second thing we would do is we would pull out our Yucca app. We cannot have carcinogens, dyes, and toxins, especially because this is a food that I use every day. When I scan this delicious, light and fit, naturally flavored, clean, organic yogurt, when I scan it in the app, which is what I used to use, no wonder why, it's a 49 pour rating, and it has 6 high-risk additives in the app. So when I click on the more information, it tells me the additives, and it tells me that it causes type 2 diabetes, chronic inflammation in the digestive tract, and other metabolic disorders. Okay, not good. When I go to the back, it'll tell me in this app, if I'm at the market, what a good one is. It gives me recommendations. Okay, So if I scan this one at the market, this one is absolutely clean. There's a good rating. So again, this used to be the old me. Every year I was putting on 5 to 10 pounds. It wasn't because I upped my protein, water, and fiber. That was the good benefit, but everything I was using had toxins, dyes, and carcinogens, literally. And when that happens, cortisol levels spike with the glucose levels, and all your body knows what to do is work with insulin to store your food as fat, especially in the fat pockets, instead of using it as energy or storing it as energy. Okay? It's the same thing for a guy. If you are a woman who has a hard stomach that's fat, right? You have visceral fat. You have, hey, Cleo! Hold on. Cleo, come here. Let's get a treat. Come on, girl. Come on. You have visceral fat, which is a very dangerous fat, instead of subconscious fat or subcutaneous fat, okay? So all of this stuff has direct correlation. If you look into the visceral fat, why is it visceral? Usually it's toxins, dyes, and carcinogens coming through fatty foods for the triglyceride balance. That's a whole nother level, okay? When it comes to protein, Allie, come here. When it comes to protein, Allie, come on. Good girl. You want a treat? Want peanut butter? Allie, come on. Good girl. Come here. Come on, Allie. Allie, come. Want a treat? Allie, come on. Good girl. Allie, come on. Allie, calm. Good girl. Come on. Who wants a treat? When it comes to your protein intake, it doesn't even matter. All that matters at the end of the day, 30% or more is coming from fat or protein. So protein and water are the number 2 things that are made up within your body. Allie, don't you dare go outside. Literally, they're the number 1 thing that's found within your body. That's why they're the most important. And there's 20,000 different strands of protein. 20,000. What's number 1? Who can tell me what number 1 is? It's collagen. Okay, hair, skin, nails, joints, muscles, wrinkles, skin's elasticity. If you care about any of those things, I've listened to 4+ Audible books now on collagen. Here's the deal. There's a type 1, a type 2, a type 3, a type 4, and a type 5. What type should you be using? I never even knew there were 5 types, right? You should have positive benefits from a collagen. You should feel it in your joints, your muscles, your wrinkles, your skin's elasticity, your hair, your eyelashes. I never had eyelashes like this. They used to be fake. I never had eyebrows that actually came in every single area. Here's the deal. Collagen, the type 2 is what you add in because it's the only one you lose. At 20, you have 100% collagen. Each year after 20, you lose at least 1%. So if you're 50 and I'm talking to you right now, you've lost 30%. It's never too late. Never. I just had a study with a gal who was 75 years old. My father-in-law, 84. You should see the night and day difference. But type 2 is what you add in because type 2 collagen is what we become depleted in. Okay? Type 2 add in, it activates type 1. 1 and 2 together activate type 3. 4 and 5 have to do with the gut lining. Okay? So type 2 collagen, and it should be a liquid. Liquid because it's absorbable. So you want a liquid collagen, water soluble, absorbable. You want it to be a type 2 collagen. I was getting mine from freaking stupid like Home Goods. And when I scanned it in the YUKA app, you have to remember the first ingredient listed in anything that you use, literally anything, is what you find the most of. The last ingredient is what you find the least of. So you have to be very careful. I was using like the MCT collagen, and if I look at it, there's like a lot of like, why is it bad? And it tells me. So type 2, I use a medical grade now. It should have clinicals. It should have third-party validation outside of the party that's representing the brand. And it also, stop using hyaluronic acid. I was using this hyaluronic acid that is found at most drugstores, hyaluronic acid. And literally I had skin cancer. It's the Ordinary brand. People think it's amazing. There's phenylxylethane inside of it. And if you look at the risk of this, it's an allergen, it's an irritant, it's a pollutant, and it literally can cause, if you see, carcinogenic behavior inside of the body, and it gives you all the other things, but you're rubbing that into your bloodstream and it's going straight into the bloodstream. Use organic tremella mushroom. It's the same thing. It mimics hyaluronic acid. It works from the taking it inside out instead of the outside in, okay? That's in my collagen. It took me 20 to go through. This is a medical grade. If she's asking for a recommendation, I would hands down never not support this. It's sculpted by nature and refined by science. It's got the organic tremolo mushroom in it. It's the only one that has it inside of it. One of the authors of one of the books that I listened to is where, okay, so organic tremolo mushroom, fenugreek, that's the second. There's 4 supplements in one. It's got also organic tremolo mushroom, I said, type 2 collagen, fenugreek, organic tremolo mushroom, and it's got morosil. Morosil is the patent orange. There's a blood red orange in Sicily. Italy people are very skinny because they have a fat burner in their blood red orange. They're the only country because of their climate. Inside of their blood red orange is an antioxidant that's patent in a study. Here's the spelling of it in the comments. Morosil. 94% of it who used it for 12 weeks, the scale went down. The body fat percentage, body fat composition, and body fat, visceral body fat all went down. Okay, especially in men, especially the hard stomach. The 6% that didn't get results gave up before the 12-week mark or were inconsistent. My spoon sits on my table. I wake up every morning. It has to be in my fridge. I literally take 1 tablespoon and I'm done. Okay, fenugreek supports the gut. That's the first ingredient. The first ingredient is type 2 collagen, medical grade. Fenugreek, the morosil, the dose of it, and the organic tremolo mushroom all in one. Belly fat blasting liquid collagen. There's only 2 flavors in stock right now. You can do the chocolate mint because I just stocked up, or you can do the chocolate raspberry. Chocolate raspberry is my favorite. There's a video that explains it better than I can, Cassandra. If you drop in the comments the word slim, I will share that with you. And if you want to snag a bottle right now, usually you can snag a bottle. It's usually $109, but they always have a promo. You can snag it for $69 right now. The price never goes above $89, but I've never seen it for $69. If you drop in the comments slim with a star, I can send that to you. You'll never find it in a store. You'll never find it on a commercial or in a billboard, ever. Okay? So if you drop the word slim, again, just shoot me a direct message over here on Facebook Messenger. When you go to my Facebook, or if you have to search me, the top right, there's like a little magnifying glass. Search Michelle Lynn Dworack, and then there's a message button. I'll share the video. It's 8 minutes, all the science, all the awards, all the clinicals, the third-party validation, and the cleanliness. Okay? If you want a bottle, I did pin it for you if you go to thebreakfastshow.net. First, if you stayed on, there's a protein guide for you for FREE. That's the guide that helped me in many ways that I always talk about and I always give credit to. It's under free protein guide. But at thebreakfastshow.net, there's a word that says Nueva at the top. The collagen is called Snow Slim. It's a full month supply. And again, it's 4 supplements in one. It's called Snow Slim, just like So Slim, SNOW Slim. 1 month supply. If you get the duo pack, just so you know, you save more per bottle. That's a 2-month supply. The trio pack is a 3-month supply. You save even more per bottle. Okay, so I did the trio pack because that's your 12-week patent study. Now you're going to see that visceral fat, hard belly start to decline. Okay, that's that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I have people with gas. There's no caffeine, there's no soy, there's no dairy, there's no gluten. I have people who are literally gastric sleeve, cancer, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, IBS, PCO. Every single person I talk to nowadays, unfortunately, has some type of health condition. But if you have a specific question, literally get inside of my inbox and I'll answer the question. Okay? So that's the 3 things. You've got your protein, you've got your water. I told you the exact same, and you've got your fiber, and I gave you every source and every tip and every trick. Here's the deal. If you do struggle with fat that is targeted one area, I will tell you, you never have to get a supplement. The only supplement I would ever push on anyone is collagen because you don't produce it. And that's only if you care about the hair, skin, nails, joints, muscles, wrinkles. Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate you a lot. What is the one you use? Marsha, I gave you that one. Awesome. So right here, drop a 1 if you relate. I need to know. Otherwise, if you're not relatable, this part isn't for you. Drop a 1 if you can relate to this. So it's targeting fat in one area. I usually go to the mall, and if women are there, I talk to them about it. Usually what's happened at this point, okay, she was 2 weeks in, look at her body already react. Usually when you hit to that point, your insulin and cells have stopped responding to each other. Okay, you're supposed to have insulin, take your food, use, stores energy. You're usually fatigued and you're usually overweight. What happens is people are doing GLP shots. Not sure if you've ever heard of that before. I've listened to quite the audible books on GLP-1s, which there are positive benefits, but you're tricking the brain. The way that you increase the GLP-1 hormone within the body is to add fiber. It's to decrease toxins, dyes, and carcinogens. So if you hopped on late, you want that YUKA app and you want to scan everything that you use more than twice a week. YUKA. Because toxins, dyes, and carcinogens, the more we have them trumping our regular whole food intake, the more our peptides are falling off. Short chain amino acids, there's 20,000 of them. Okay, the GLP-1 shot tricks the brain. Injectables are not the best form of absorption. Actually, they're coming to find peptides microbeaded. They mimic at a cellular level what's already found in the body. So the body actually reacts to it better. Okay, one specifically for weight loss for these people that have this targeted stubborn fat is right here. Tesofensin is a massive drug for weight loss. I should say a massive ingredient. Tesofensin, most weight loss is coming from less food noise, no cravings for sugar and salt, and also binge eating disorder. The bottom right, this is a 3-in-1 stack. You'll see what's called Diaxa. Diaxa is a non-stimulated mood and focused boost. So a lot of people out there who have squirrel brain or can't focus or pay attention inside of their work or their profession, Diaxa helps with that. And then the bottom left part is actually called BCP 157. And that is they call it what's it called when you evacuate inflammation out of the body. So we have fluid inside of the body where there's inflammation, and it's a lot of reasons why we start to get tendinitis. It's too tight and it's pushing up against other types of nerves, and it causes that pain. So that evacuates it. It's a 3-in-1 peptide stack. All I want you to look at when you look at microbeaded medical grade peptides is the ingredients. The only thing that's listed on this specific one, when you look, is exactly what I just told you. I just literally told you BCP 157. I literally just told you Tesofensin and Diaxa. That is the only thing found inside of this. I have 50 people a week messaging me peptides they're using or have taken, and they all have fillers. That's not how that should work. Companies that do that are paying very low cost to create a product and selling it for a lot of money. So you have to be careful. This is a medical grade, backed by science, proven through clinicals, third-party validation, and clean. It's called Elevate. Drop in the comments the word Elevate. I will introduce you to the peptides expert. There's 250 bottles left in stock. This will be the second time of sellout. And a lot of people get frustrated with the sellout, but it's because of the sourcing of the products. The products are sourced in a very, 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 very particular way. And a lot of warehouses out there have products that aren't sourced in a reputable way. And there's like rats and mice running all over them, and there's too much product. So these are sourced, so it will sell out. If you drop in the comments the word Elevate with a star, right now you can claim your first bottle. It's a full month supply. You would take this 30 minutes before your first meal. That's it. There's no stimulants, there's no dairy, there's no soy, there's no gluten, there's no caffeine. And you would actually take it for 2 months on and 1 month off, because that's how the body at a cellular level and a mimicking effect of peptides in your body operate. So you would follow that standard. It's $209 for a full month supply. You get it for $169. There's always specials going on with it, and you can lock in the price to never go above $189. And right now today, actually, they're offering a free bottle of Boost. Boost is all of your ashwagandha and your mushrooms for a midday pick-me-up. It's got your lion's mane, it's got your rescue, your cordyceps, and your ashwagandha. This you get for free with Elevate today. It's $50. You also get this every single month going forward for free, even if you never order again. If you follow me, you see me take my 2 gummies every single day around 1 o'clock. It replaced my toxin-infused, carcinogenic-infused Celsius. I'm obsessed. And that is that. So if you want it, you can actually message me for the video Elevate. If you don't have binge eating disorder, if you're not a binge eater, you actually would go more with body peptide. Right here we have a 2-stacked one. So 2-in-1 peptide, you have 5-amino-1, which increases the NAD plus in your body, and you have what's called Sloop 3332. It has an exercise mimicking effect at a cellular level with no caffeine. Those are the only 2 ingredients found within this. If you don't know which one for you, message me, Body and Elevate. I'll share both videos with the expert. You can make that decision. You'll know immediately. And then if you want it, I pinned it right here, thebreakfastshow.net. They're both the same price, but the Body does not come with Boost. You would go to New Wava. So this goes in the web browser, then New Wava, and then you will see the term Elevate or the term Body. Right now you can do a signature set and you can get a 3-month supply of Body or Elevate, and you get the free Boost for $530. So that's obviously the cheaper way to go, and that's the best transformation story because you have all of March, all of April, you're off May, you have June, you don't order now till July. Trizepatide is $299 a month. They're finding that they're not putting all the fillers on the label, and it's tricking your brain. So the price today versus the cost if you come back to me in 90 days because you're not seeing positive benefits will cost you more if you don't pull the trigger today, okay? So again, that's where you can get it. If you have any questions or health conditions, you're just gonna hop in my inbox, and that's in regards to the peptides. What happens every single time we're adding toxins, dyes, and carcinogens is we're actually having these short chain amino acids become rusty. And at a mimicking effect, cellular level, proven through science, you literally can add them back in. That's what Elevate and that's what Body is doing. Elevate comes from the movie Limitless. If you've ever seen that movie, that's what that peptide is. Again, you're looking at no fillers, no toxins, no dyes, no carcinogens, clean, proven through science, proven through clinicals and third-party validation. And then also you can't find it in a store, on a billboard, or in a commercial. Okay, so the one down the street from you is not equivalent to what this is. Okay, whoa, that was a lot. So now we have, the catching the end of it was about how to feel better during the way, have more energy during weight loss, and help with cravings for sugar and salt. If you don't want that or you don't care about that, the beginning gives you the 3 things to start implementing every day to do it without it. So just so you do know, you don't have to get any type of product at all, but if you want to biohack it, you can. So any questions? I want to open it up. Which Body or Elevate do you get better weight loss results? Elevate, 150%. Elevate. Good question, Joanne. I do want to let you know when you do go to purchase a little bit about my background. Actually 9 years ago now, this could be you writing a story. You could literally be saying that you were on a live stream with Michelle at 11:10 a.m. and it forever changed your life. And you could share a little bit of the background and be like, I was, inflamed, bloated, couldn't lose weight. Do you know how many times I put on my stories, how many people tell me they tried everything? And then all of a sudden they're like, can't keep the weight off. My husband's 54, he cannot stop losing weight. Like not to an unhealthy way, but he's just, he looks, it's insane. So what happens is 9 years ago, I was actually sitting at my house and my life had forever changed from coming across an article. In the article, it was about a gentleman that paid out his ex-wife billions and billions and billions of dollars. They had him like standing up with this check and I'm like, how? What did this man do? And coming to find out, he was a part of the e-commerce, like the Amazon, right? Where you have leveraged income instead of linear income. But it was kind of a depression session, right? Because as much as this man had the money to create the products, to hire customer service reps, to have the websites, to have the fancy warehouse, $15,000, $20,000, right? I had 60 grand in debt. My background was HR. I cleaned houses. I did hair in my basement. As a single mom, I did all of that. Food stamps, Medicaid, nightmare. But I did find that I could do my due diligence to find the #1 product, to find a product that millions of people are already buying and want right now today, that have science, clinicals, third-party validation, and cleanliness. Amazon doesn't have that for all their products. So I'm sharing this with you because I didn't have to come up with any of that money. I don't have to hit a monthly minimum or a monthly quota. Everything I mentioned, I already have a warehouse in every state provided to me. I literally have every country, 191 countries. I earn 40% commission. So I'm telling you right now that I teach curiosity and attraction marketing. You will never mention the term nueva. You don't have to do lives or reels. I give you what to post. Your posting will be all around a brand of helping others or health and wellness and biohacking the body. 40% commission, no monthly minimum, no quota, no catch, no recruiting anyone, no spamming. I got started 9 years ago with 200 friends on Facebook and no other platforms. I've made over $1.5 million now in this space and fired my boss. And I've literally put my daughter in a private school. I have 2 homes. And I'm just here to tell you, I'm not going to beg, sell, or convince. I'm looking for A players. I'm not looking for people who compare themselves to C players. Like, what about Sally? She's doing this. Why do you even care about Sally? Like, go above, right? I have the whole system built out. You tag people in tools. If anyone, today I'm going to give 500 people this picture. And people are going to ask them, what is that? All that person has to say is, if I share a video that explains the science behind it better than I can, would you press play? They're going to say yes. Once they do, you earn up to 40% commission. Okay? So if you want leveraged income, where you literally can now go from 24 hours in a day to 2,400 hours in a day, and you want to make residual money in your sleep because every time that person orders, you get that percentage, drop in the comments the word hybrid. I'll share the exact model with you. You partner with me. It's free. You literally get my system, every single tool and video with the experts and the science and clinicals, third-party validation behind it. And you have my leadership, and you also have the health and wellness products that are #1 in the States right now. Microbeaded peptides, reverse aging, gut, energy, hydrogen, water. So if you're positive and coachable and you're hungry, that's all I need. I don't care about the number of followers. If you're introverted, I've got scripts for you. You click a button. You don't have time. You do this in the nooks and crannies of your day. You need about an hour a day or about 5 hours a week. You're too busy. It's mobily. You do this anywhere, anytime. I've never owned a computer in my life. And I don't really know any other, how much is it to start? You get a product. So if you want nitro, you're paying $59. If you want to buy a bag of coffee that's pesticide free, you're paying $70. If you want a peptide, there is no catch. The catch is, what problem are you facing financially, and what flexibility issue do you not have right now that you could have in 5 years? Because what you're doing right now and today is where you're going to be in 5 years. And a lot of you that I talk to and a lot who stream in are playing way too motherfucking small. Stop it. So I'm an expert in the industry. I've biohacked it. I never had a mentor. I partnered with someone who quit. And I'm happy because it's led me to become bulletproof and to create this the right way instead of bringing in bad habits. So if you did partner with me, you would be partnering with someone who is literally legendary and world class, where people in other companies pay me thousands and thousands of dollars to mentor them. You would be partnered with me. You have to drop the word hybrid in the comments. I see that we have Letitia dropped it. We also have Mary, and we also have, what's it say? Carissa, I got your name. I screenshotted it. What takes place after ordering a full 4-month cycle? You get a message from me instantly from my cell phone number. That's how I treat my customers, because if you ever were to call in, you'll be on a wait for an hour because of the high demand of these products and the sellout. Number 2, you get my fat loss course. And number 3, you'll know how much protein you need, you'll know how much water, and you'll have the YUKA app to eliminate any toxins, dyes, or carcinogens that you're eating in a regular food, like say your Greek yogurt has that. I also have Brittany now. Anybody else want that hybrid model, like money? Could you use some extra money? Do you want to make more money? If you're positive, coachable, and hungry, I can show you the exact way to do it. Drop an A in the comments if you want to make $1,000 to $3,000 extra a month on top of what you already do. Drop a B if you want to make $5,000 to $7,000. And drop a C if you want to make 10 grand plus every single month. I will share the catalog with you. I will share also a little bit more information about the hybrid model. It's called Shifting Retail, Changing the Game, Social Retail Modeling, and No Recruiting Based Model. And we'll go from there. I'm not sure if this is a good fit for you or not. If you're not open to now because something's going on in your life, I can gather that information and give it to you so that when you do become open, you have me in your back pocket so we can hit the ground running and do amazing things together. Okay, I also have you as well. Okay, I see the comment. So hop in my inbox with any questions. My messages are always open for you. You are guaranteed an episode between 9 and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday through Friday. Weekends, I have pop-up episodes depending on where I'm at with listening to the 40 plus Audible books I've now listened to. Go back to the beginning and listen to this and literally save it and hit follow or hit add friend so that you're alerted when I do go live. I'm obsessed with what I do. I'm very passionate. I might seem angry. I might seem very direct. I'm very passionate. I love empowering. I love educating, and I love entertaining. And I've completely transformed my life from this broke, busted, disgusted loser from 9 years ago who never saw her child, who drank a bottle of wine every single night, into this blossoming, blooming rocket ship. And I'm inviting you to be a part of it. Or you can watch from the sidelines. All right, love you. Happy Thursday. Get out there and freaking crush. Bye.